तिहन्तुः पितृत्वमन्यैषु चार्यतूर्णं स्तम्भे अवतारस्तमनन्यलभ्यं लक्ष्मीन्द्रसिंहं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्कितकेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदिः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। अधराहितचारुवंशनालाः भक्तालम्बिमयूरपिञ्चमालाः हरि नीलशिला विभङ्गलीलाः प्रतिभासन्तु मम अन्तिमप्रयाणे। ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अस्मत्परगुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीरङ्गनाथशरगोपीन्द्र दष्टुं श्रीरङ्गवीरविराट् वेदान्तदेशिकयतीन्द्रमहं प्रपद्ये श्रीमते श्रीवंशगोपश्रीवेदान्तदेशिकयतीन्द्रमः देशिकाय नमः। नीलातुङ्गस्तनगिरितटे सुप्तमुद्बोध्य कृष्णो पारार्च्यं स्वं श्रुतिशतशिरःसिद्धमध्यापयन्ति स्वोच्छिष्टायां सजनिगणतं याबलात् कुच्यपुन्ते गोदा तस्यै नम इदमिदं भूय एवास्तु भूयः। ஆன்றை உலகம் அளந்தாய் அடி போற்றி சென்றெங்குத்த நிலங்கை செற்றாய் திரள் போற்றி ஒன்ற சிகடம் உதைத்தால் புகழ் போற்றி கன்று குடிலா எரிந்தாய் கடல் போற்றி குன்று குடையாய் எடுத்தாய் குணம் போற்றி வென்று பகை கிடக்கும் என் கையில் வேல் போற்றி என்றென்றும் சிவகமே எட்டி வரை கொள்வார் இன்று யாம் வந்தோம் இரங்கேலோர் எம்பாவாய். So now, coming to this 24th day's Pashuram, Goda Devi is praising the Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana with his divine sportive activities from various incarnations. So to start with, Mangalam, Potri means Mangalam, victory. Hey Krishna, Mangalam, let everything be auspicious to your lotus feet, divine feet, that measured all the three worlds, referring to Vamana Avatara, becoming Trivikrama, measuring all the three worlds, with one foot the lower worlds, another foot upper worlds, no room to keep the third foot, keep it on Bal Chakravarti's head and push him down to Sutara Lokam. Krishna, Mangalam to your great strength that wiped out the beautiful city of Lanka, referring to Ramavatara, and wiping out Ravana and his Lanka. Krishna, Mangalam to your divine feet that kicked and killed the Rakshasas, Shakatasura, Vatsasura, the demons that came in the form of a cart and in the form of a calf during the Krishna Avatara. Again, Krishna Avatara, Mangalam to your divine leelas of lifting the entire Govardhana hill as though it is an umbrella. You just open up an umbrella. You just open up an umbrella. You just open up the umbrella so that you can protect yourself from rain, etc. Now she is saying, Krishna, that whole Govardhanagiri became an umbrella for you. And of course you saved all the gopas, gopikas, cows, calves of the entire Vrindavan in that Krishna Avatara. Krishna, Mangalam to that spear that you have in your hand that can wipe out all your enemies. Krishna, we came here to glorify you, your heroic deeds, your divine sportive activities, We want to do it again and again and again because we keep on deriving pleasure in glorifying you and your activities. Bless us, Krishna, that we will be able to complete this Margashira Masa Vratam. And they are not saying because being a girl, she feels very bashful to say, I'm doing this Vratam only to get married to you. Krishna knows it. So indirectly she says, complete my Vratam means make sure you do everything as we beg you to do. Now comes the way the Gopikas are there, enjoying every bit of Krishna. First, they wanted Krishna to wake up and to walk and come on to his Simhasana. Because his walk itself is majestic like a lion. That Simhasanam, so that he will promise in front of everyone to make Krishna accountable. Well, in the beginning, Gopikas and Nandal came to Krishna saying, oh, my dear gatekeepers, Krishna promised us to give a nice musical instrument yesterday. We forgot all about that. They said at one point, you give us some chamaras, give us some canopies. They forgot all about that. And they started to glorify his lotus feet. What is it Goda Devi is telling us indirectly? As Krishna says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritanurjuna arto jignasu radhardi jnani cha bharatarshava. It's okay. Even if you are there in distress, come to Krishna. Even if you are there an inquisitive person, come to Krishna. Even if you need some material benefits, come to Krishna. Even if you want spiritual knowledge, to completely surrender to Krishna, come to Krishna. Indirectly, Goda Devi is saying, even though we came to Krishna expecting some returns, but after enjoying serving Krishna for 23 days, the Gopikas and Andal are totally changed people. They didn't ask for anything other than glorifying the divine lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Same thing. We too. One second, India. A phone will take a picture later. Your messages. So we too, in the same way, yes, you came to Krishna because your green card is getting delayed. You came to Krishna because you have some marital problems. You came to Krishna because you have problems or some issues with your children. Whatever way you came to Krishna, doesn't matter. Okay, you came to Krishna because you wanted prosperity, you wanted to buy a better car, better house, etc. You came to Krishna because you want to get your daughter married, son married, get a job for your son. Doesn't matter. Whichever way you come to Krishna, the most important thing, do some service, Kainkaryam to Krishna. The minute you start doing Kainkaryam to Krishna, Bhagavata Acharya Kainkaryam, you will be totally a different person. You will be a changed person. Your entire approach will change. That is Krishna. It doesn't matter whether you keep your finger in fire knowingly or unknowingly, your finger will be burnt. Doesn't matter you came to Krishna with desires or without desires. Doesn't matter whether you came to Krishna because you want to know who is the Krishna or you know about Krishna. Whatever way you come, just come, serve him. Serve him with Trikarna Shuddhi, with all your mind, your speech, and your actions. Krishna will make you altogether a different person. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachantim nigachati. Kshipram, very soon he will make you a dharmatma. Just as the Gopikas and Andal have changed, they're asking for some material benefits. Now they are asking only for Krishna's Kainkaryam. That is the greatness of Krishna. Same thing. Our human tongue can enjoy 6 days Shadruchis, like sweet, citrus, salty, pungent, like the Shadrasas. Same thing, Godadevi is enumerating the six divine leelas of the Supreme Lord Krishna. If you look at Vamanavatar, came as a little boy of 8 years old, accepted 3 feet of land and became Trivikram. When that foot reached all the way up to Brahmaloka, Brahma identified the foot. This is from Lord Sriman Narayana. Because Rekha Mayat Dvaya Sudha Kalashata Patra Vajram Kusham Murha Kalpaka Shankha Chakraihi. In the divine, at the bottom of the divine feet of Lord Krishna, there are all the auspicious marks of Shankram, Chakram, Gada, Ankam, Kalasham. Looking at them, Brahma immediately realized this is Sriman Narayana's foot. Used the Tirtham from his Kamandalam to do the Abhishekam to that foot. And that became Ganga. And Shankara got it off the skull of Brahma that is there in his hand, which he is using as Bhikshapa. After accepting Ganga, Vishnu Parvati Ganga on his head. Even though he is called Mahadeva, Shankara, greatest of the gods, Mahadeva, Shankara. Shankara got Shivatvam only by accepting Ganga on his head. And 3 feet of land Bharchakravarti gave, even going against the instructions of his Acharya. So a question came, did Vamana, Trivikrama measure the earth first and then went all the way up to Brahmaloka? Or first he went up to Brahmaloka and then the earth? That's why when you look at some pictures, you be very careful. Especially Lord Krishna's pictures as Trivikrama. Well, first and foremost, Krishna used his right foot. That's what our Acharya said. Krishna used his right foot to measure the entire earth because he was standing on the earth. So he has to first take control of the earth. The entire Bhuloka became smaller than his right foot. The entire Bhuloka, we know, America to India is 10,000 miles. So even the 10,000 miles has become smaller than the foot size of Vikrama. One can imagine what is the entire Bhuloka became smaller than the right foot of Krishna. So with the right foot he measured the earth. After that, then he raised his left foot. So in the Trivikrama pictures, you should have the left foot going all the way up to Brahmaloka. And all the words up to Brahmaloka became smaller than his left foot. That is the greatness. Godadevi enumerates that as the first great divine sportive activity of Sriman Narayana. The second one in Ramavatara. Can anybody imagine Rama doing a Setu Bandhana, constructing a bridge across the ocean, and a Ravanavata? Unimaginable acts for a human being. If you look by any standards, no human being on earth can ever think of building a bridge across the ocean and that mighty Ravana to be killed. Well, Krishna Avatara is full of wonders. So, Shakatasura, Krishna was just a 3 months old baby by then. Vatsasura, any number of Rakshasas coming, is no match for Krishna. So, here, the two demons, Shakatasura and Vatsasura, Godadevi is indirectly referring to us. The minute you surrender to Krishna, two things must disappear. I and my, our ego and our possessiveness. If they are not disappearing, That means our Sharanagati, we are yet to become perfect in our Sharanagati. We are yet to become perfect in our Sharanagati. Ma, can one of you mute your phone? I think, Tulasi, can you mute your phone, Amma? So now coming back to the Shakatasura and the Vatsasura, Godadevi is referring to are the two demoniac feelings that we have in our mind, I and my. That possessiveness, mine, I, that individual ego, they must disappear. Of course, we already have other six enemies always residing in us: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Our desires that are against Dharma, our anger, our greediness, our attachments, our ego, and our jealousy. Just give me 1 second, I'll quickly take this call. Good evening, Rangnath Temple, sir. 8 a.m., 8, okay, got your point. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. we are open. You can come anytime. Make sure you have a mask and you maintain 6 feet distance when you are inside the temple. It is still there. It is still there at 10 a.m. Do come. And Monday is Hanuman's birthday. Come on Monday also. Thank you. So, Goda Devi is telling all the people who really surrender to Krishna must guard how many demons are there sitting inside their mind. The two unimaginable demons, I and my, and the six other demons, get rid of them. Now, Krishna's lifting the Govardhanagiri. For 7 days non-stop, he kept the Govardhanagiri on his little finger. During the 7 days, they didn't even have food. They didn't even have drink. They didn't even have water.
No, I thought there's a camera or something.
Camera?
No, I thought you're being videotaped. It's fine.
Yes, madam. Monday morning, 9 o'clock is the Abhishekam, 10 o'clock is the Gadamadam. Sure. So, how do we know that people survived for 7 days without food, water, anything? Simple. Read Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th chapter, 10th canto, 25th chapter, 23rd verse. It says very clearly, Kshat Drud Vyadham Sukhapeksham Hitva Tair Rajavasipihi Vikshyamano Dadha Dadaha Dadhara Adrim Saptaham Na Chalat Padat. For 7 days, Krishna, without even moving, supported everyone, supported everyone. Just with his sight itself, he nourished everyone. That is the supremacy of Krishna. That Krishna's eyes can do so many wonders which no one else can even imagine. That Krishna's eyes can give life, that Krishna's eyes can take away life. So Krishna gave Amritam to all these people. And finally Indra has to come down, do the Pattabhishekam, Govinda Pattabhishekam, with the milk from Kamadhenu. Again, that is also there confirmed that Govinda name was given to Krishna by Indra after Indra realizing his stupidity to compete with Krishna and to test Krishna. That is there in the Bhagavatam 10th canto, 27th chapter, 23rd verse. Indraha Surarshivhi Sakam Chodito Devamatrubihi Abhyasinchat Dasharham Govinda iti cha abhyadhat. So that Govinda Namadhyayam is given to Lord Krishna by Indra after accepting his defeat, after accepting his ignorance, after accepting his stupidity, falling at the feet of Krishna. Govinda, one who can give unimaginable bliss to the senses, to the cows, to everyone. That's why he's called Govinda. Well, most of us know Krishna doesn't have any weapons. Rama, always with a bow and arrows. Always. Krishna, no weapons, only the flute in his hands. A very, very simple lifestyle of a Vrajavasi. A flute in his hands, peacock feathers in his tresses. Gunjabadham Vrsalilitam Dharayan Harayashtim. The red beads available in the forest, red beads, gunjas. Those red beads have a small tinge of blackness also at the bottom. So, nice strands of those red beads with black dots all over his chest. That is Krishna. So we don't think Krishna is wielding the weapons. And whenever Krishna wants, the Sudarsana Chakra comes to his hand. But not just that one Sudarsana Chakra. Krishna is also called Shodashayudhadhari. There are 16 weapons that are there. And the spear that Godadevi mentions is just one among them. Now here Godadevi says, Yam Vando. We came to you, Krishna. The Gopikas came to Krishna. Krishna did not go after anybody. Rukmini wanted Krishna. Everyone wanted Krishna, for that matter, including you, me, everyone. The fortunate ones get Krishna, that's all. Why did the Gopikas come to Krishna? Because they could no longer bear the separation from Krishna. The Viraha Vedana of the Gopikas, there are no words to describe. That's why in one of the Ashtapadis he says, Ma kuru gamana vilambanam anusaratam hrudayesham. Hey Gopikas, do not do even 1 second delay. Gamana vilambanam, in your going to Krishna. Don't even delay by 1 second. Anusaratam hrudayesham. Just go, just go. Follow Krishna, follow Krishna, follow Krishna. So the Gopikas came with unimaginable Viraha Vedana and begged Krishna to get down from his Simhasana. Then comes the question, can we ask the Supreme Lord Krishna to get down from the Simhasanam? The answer our Acharya said long time ago was, why not? Because the first and the foremost duty of Bhagavan is Paritranaya Sadhunam. And when 16,000 lives are at stake, the Gopikas, unable to bear the Viraha Vedana, are just about to fall down dead. 16,000 Bhagavatas' lives are at stake. Therefore, there is nothing wrong in Gopikas begging Krishna to get down from his Simhasanam and bless them. Because their very survival depends on Krishna. They have no other support. They have none to bless them other than Krishna. If that were the majesty of Krishna, it is not at all surprising. Mahatma Vedavyasa says that very beautifully in Gopika Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 31st chapter, 16th verse. Patisutanvayan Krishna Bhatru Bandhavan Ati Vilangyati Krishnantyachyuta Gataha. It's extremely difficult for ordinary people because we have some invisible ropes that are binding us. Invisible ropes in the form of a spouse, in the form of sons, in the form of daughters, in the form of parents. Everyone, whomsoever you are calling as relatives, bandhus, they are none other than an extra rope to tie us up to the samsaram. At least if you are not tied up, you can try and swim and try to get out of the samsara sagar. But not allowing you even to get out of the ocean. If somebody is there tying you up, your hands and feet, and dumping you in the ocean, is there any way you can get out of it? Therefore, the bandhus that we have, the relatives that we are considering as very close to us, like the spouse, wife or husband, the children, sons and daughters, the parents, mother and father, brothers and sisters, all these people, whomsoever you think are the closest relatives, you know what does it mean from spiritual point of view? The closest relative is the strongest rope that is tying you. If you are thinking your husband is the closest person to you, that is the strongest rope tying you to the samsara. If you think your children are so close to you, they are the strongest ropes that are binding you to the samsara sagaram. Now you understand. Even though they are all relatives, like the father and the mother, brothers and sisters, husband or wife, sons or daughters, remember, whomsoever is there getting a priority in our lives, the same thing is the one who is there tying us to this samsara sagaram with the strongest of the strongest ropes. Like, in chemistry you call them the bonds, the weak bonds, the strong bonds. In physics you call them the forces. Some forces are weak forces, strong forces. These are the ropes, the bandhus, the bandhanas, the ropes that tie you up to the samsara. in the form of spouse, in the form of children, in the form of parents, in the form of brothers and sisters. So you decide how many ropes you... అర్థం కాలేదు. ఎవరు లేరా? లేకపోయినా మీరు కూర్చొని చేసేయండి. చిన్నగా చేసేయండి, ఎవరిని అవస్థపతిగా చేయొచ్చు, ఇలా ఖర్చు చేసి చేయండి. So Goda Devi is mentioning here, as the Gopikas have said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Pati Suta Anvayan Krishna Bhratru Bandhavan Ati Vilangyate Krishnantyachita Gataha. That is the reason why Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Asanga Shastrena Drudhena Chitva Tatah Padam Tat Parimargitavyam Yasmin Gata Na Nivartanti Bhuyaha. Asanga Shastrena Drudhena Chitva. Asangam, detachment. Detachment. If you think there is any attachment, immediately Krishna says, get a weapon, sharp weapon called detachment, and cut off that bondage, which ordinary human beings will never be able to do. Ordinary human beings will never be able to do. But Gopikas are the Paramaikantika Bhagavatottamas who could do that very easily. Even then they are crying before Krishna, Krishna, Ati Vilangyate Krishnantyachita Gataha. Krishna, why do you think, Krishna, it is so easy? You are Parandhama, Krishna. You have no attachments. You have no attachments. That's why Krishna could leave the entire Vrindavan. Krishna could leave 16,000 Gopikas. The 16,000 Gopikas who are just ready to sacrifice their lives for the sake of Krishna. Not think of anything else in the world other than Krishna. But Krishna has no attachments to anyone. Krishna has no attachments to anyone. That's why Krishna very easily could do everything he wanted to achieve because he has no attachments. Job done, move on to the next job. Job done, go on to the next job. From our perspective, it's not right. From Krishna's perspective, Asanga Shastrena Drudhena Chitva. We have to decide how many ropes we want to tie ourselves to be dumped in the ocean called samsara. We have to decide, after deciding how many ropes, how strong you want that each and every rope to be. Look at some people. Some people are very strongly attached to their father, to their mother, to their brothers, to their sisters, of course to their spouse, to the wife or to the husband, or the children. You decide which rope you want. Good evening, Srinada Temple. Cheppandi, sir. ధన్వంతరి హోమం. అవునండి, అవునండి, ఆన్లైన్ చూసి ఒక్కసారి మీకు అందులో ఉంది, ఆ ఫ్లయర్లో ఉంది, ఒక ఇది contact@ranganatha.org అని, అది నేరుగా టెంపుల్ సెక్రటరీ సెంటర్కి వస్తుంది. మీరు పంపించారు, నేను ఇంకా చూడలేదు, నేను చూసి తప్పకుండా నేను యాడ్ చేస్తానండి, నో ప్రాబ్లం. పంపించండి, మీరు పంపించండి సార్, నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ అండి, ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్. భగవంతుడు ఉన్నాడండి. తెలుగులో చెప్తారు, రక్షకులు లేని వారల రక్షించదనసు చక్రి రాజై ఉందని. ఫర్ సంబడి హూ హ్యాస్ నో వన్, కృష్ణ సేస్ ఐ ఆమ్ దేర్ ఫర్ యూ. రక్షకులు లేని వారల రక్షించదనసు చక్ర రాజయ్యుండు. మీరు జస్ట్ మీరు వాట్సాప్ కానీ టెక్స్ట్ కానీ ఎలా అయినా పర్లేదండి. అదే నా నెంబర్కి వాట్సాప్ చేయండి, లేకపోతే నా ఫోన్ నెంబర్కి మెసేజ్ పంపించండి. ఇప్పుడు మీరు నా నెంబర్ మీ దగ్గర ఉందా? ఉంటే తప్పకుండా పంపించండి, ఆ నెంబర్కి పంపించండి. లేదు ఇంకా చూడలేదే. మనం పొద్దుటి నుంచి వరుసగా క్లాసులు ఉన్నాయి, ఇప్పుడు కూడా క్లాసులో ఉన్నారు. మీరు పంపించండి, తప్పకుండా చేస్తాం. షూర్ అండి. Good evening, Ranganatha Temple. Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Good evening, Ranganatha Temple. There is no appointment needed. Just come, have your face mask and maintain 6 feet distance when you are inside the temple. Hardly there will be 20 people, but maintain distance. There is limited amount of prasadam being given in Ziploc bags, but no sitting and eating there. Take the prasadam and go to your car and you can have. For everyone, yes, madam. Thank you. So now coming back to, did you see the question? Is prasadam available for everyone? There's nothing wrong. I'm happy they're asking prasadam. I wish you also eat only prasadam. Now comes when Goda Devi is appealing so much to Krishna. How can Krishna say, how can Krishna neglect the Parama Bhagavat Uttamas? That is the reason why I always say, the minute a Bhagavat Uttama is there appealing, there are no rules for Krishna. Tasam avirabhut shauri smayamana mukham bhujah Pitambar Dharaswatri Sakshat Manmatha. Enjoy surrendering to Krishna. Goda Devi's blessings will always be with us. In fact, Goda Devi says in Goda Suti at one point, Vatsalya nirbharataya janani kumaram stanyena vardhayati dashta payodharapi. The 7-8 months old child just got a couple of teeth, but still has to survive only on the mother's milk. For whatever reason, if the mother is delayed giving him the feed or something, the child gets angry and will start biting the same nipple or the breast from where his very survival, the milk comes. He doesn't realize. Just because the child is naughty and is biting the mother, will the mother throw away the baby? She will still enjoy the biting of the child and will still nourish the baby. Mahatma Desika appeals to Goda Devi. Goda Devi, before you, we are like children, committing mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Just as a mother forgives her naughty child who is biting and still takes care of him, please protect us also. That is the mercy of Goda Devi. Enjoy surrendering to Krishna. Go ahead, Amma. If you have a question, make it fast, Amma.
Swamiji, tomorrow what time, Swamiji?
Tomorrow what time?
From the 5 o'clock we have the TV Asia interview, Swamiji.
Oh yeah, tomorrow at 5 p.m., sir.
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay. Send me the reminder one more time, sir.
Sure, Swamiji. Monday, Swamiji.
Okay, Narayana.
Swamiji, Thiruppavai chaptaru, Swamiji.